Welcome to this very gentle womb yoga practice. We will be doing 3 poses standing and then 3 poses seated. If you're someone who's really ready to connect to your womb, to feel energy, sexuality, emotions, creativity flowing, maybe you're struggling with a womb illness or with your period health, you might love this practice. And it's simple enough that you could do it every single day. So my name is Joss of Wild Womb, and I help women feel their best in their bodies, boost confidence, and connect to their feminine energy. So I'm so excited to share this with you. Let's get started. I'll invite you to find an open space. You don't need to be on a yoga mat, but you could be. Maybe you're in some clothes that feel really nice and open and flowy, so you can move freely. And we shall begin. All right, so to start, your feet will be about hip width or wider. Yeah, and just start to feel into your feet, nice and smooth and natural, not thinking too much about it. Start to notice your feet pressing down. Notice the outside edge, the inner edge, the toes, and the heels. So you could even rock forward and back a few times, feel that connection. Maybe you roll onto the outer edges and then you feel into the inner edges. Okay. And then I'll invite you to bring a slight bend to your knees. And on an inhale, lift your toes and spread them. Feel the air in between each toe, okay? And then as you exhale, press your toes down. Inhale, breathing up. You can do it with your hands as well if you like. Exhale, pressing down. Nice. Once more, nice and slow. Inhale, spread through your toes as much as you can. Feel the space between each toe. Exhale, press it down. Nice. Keep that beautiful connection. Slightly kicking out your tailbone, okay? So you're kind of pushing your bum out just a little with a bend in your knees. That's the movement that you want. Let it feel nice and natural. And I'll invite you to sway from side to side from that space, okay? Take a moment to get into your rhythm. And what you'll notice is that as you keep that nice strong stance with the feet planted, grounded, rooted, little bend in your knees, you create this strong root chakra foundation, which allows your pelvis to move more freely. It allows it to flow better, okay? So keep that connection and just keep moving side to side. Hands could be on your hips. They could be like just moving free if you like. Totally up to you. And if anything is feeling uncomfortable or like awkward because you've never done it, it's okay. Just move nice and slow, take your time. Press into your feet. Notice the outer edge, the inner edge, back of heels and toes. Check in with your knees, a little bit of a bend there. And then keep swaying side to side, flowing back and forth. Okay, perfect. Take a nice refreshing breath in and out. Okay. We'll go into the next movement, slight variation. You're making little circles now. Or big circles, up to you. Same idea with your feet. So keep your feet nice and strong, rooted through your legs, and then start to make a very slow movement of a circle. So you feel yourself moving back, you feel yourself to the side, and then you lean forward in the circle and to the other side. Okay, notice every sensation as you move. And then connecting your breath. Inhale as you come forward on the circle. Exhale as you come back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Okay. Try the other direction. So the other direction with your circles, and again, notice your feet. Press into every single toe. Press into the back of your heels, the outer edge. Notice all those spaces. Okay. From here, feel free to kind of shake it out if you like. Any moves that feel good for you and your body. And we'll go into the next movement, which is a figure 8. So you're sort of tracing this figure 8 shape. Again, notice how I've got that strong foundation in my legs and my feet. So notice how that feels for you. Hands might be on your hips or your pelvis. Okay, how is your breathing now? How are you breathing? Nice and slow through your nose, nice and gentle. Yeah, and let it feel really natural. It doesn't matter if we look different, it's okay. Maybe you need to move fast for a moment. Maybe that feels good in your body. Or maybe you notice that, wow, I really need to slow this movement down. Okay, now from here, shake it out a bit. So just kind of shake your legs, shake your hands. Now check in with your pelvis. Maybe your hands come to your womb space. How does she want to move? Maybe you prefer stillness, or maybe you notice, oh, I really liked those swaying movements. Okay, so just sort of move intuitively. I'm feeling quite a gentle movement today, right? So every day will be different. Okay, and whatever you're doing is perfect. I know, even though I can't see you. But you might even bring your hands into whatever movement you're doing now, right? You might bring your hands in, maybe you softly touch your body. So it's really like this kind of, it's an embodiment, right? You're not thinking too much about what you're doing, but there is some method behind it, right? Because you're pressing into your feet, you have that foundation, and your pelvis is moving freely. And then with the conscious touch, if you choose to do that, you know, perhaps you imagine some kind of power or blessing that you want to bring into your week. You know, I want more patience this week. I want more compassion. And so you're kind of bringing that all over your body as you move. That's just one idea. But notice how everything is kind of flowing free without thinking too much about it. Notice your breathing. Keep going. I know what you're doing is perfect, but you might like to create some sweeping, releasing breaths now. So how it looks is as you exhale, again, always bend through the legs, press through your feet. Exhale, down to your knees. Inhale, hands come up the inner thighs. Exhale, nice bend. Inhale up. Inhale up. Okay, so take a few of those. You could be moving slow or fast. Whenever that's feeling complete for you, I'll invite you to get a nice wide stance and take a few taps. You'll notice I pivot on my foot, the opposite foot when I turn, and I'm tapping on my kidney space, okay? Other hand is on the hip. So tap, hands are like gummies, arms are like gummies. Breathe exactly how you want. You might like to do that shh breath. It's up to you because it's your body, right? Some audible sounds might feel good too, right? If you know you've got to release some energy, that loud audible sound might feel really good for you. Okay. Notice how your body is feeling now. So you slowly come out, take your time. Come back to any little movement that feels good as you open your palms and take a check-in, okay? So feel your legs, little micro bend in your knees, open your palms. Press into all corners of your feet, outer edge, inner edge, toes and back heel. Feel your pelvis almost floating in a bowl of water, so it's just so relaxed. Feel your spine lifting up nice and easeful and gentle. Notice if your pelvic muscles and your throat could feel soft and relaxed. Okay, and then breathe into that space. Notice an inhale and an exhale. Okay, once more, notice an inhale. Notice an exhale. Okay, beautiful. So as we come out, we'll come down to seated. I'll invite you to move through your hands a little bit before we come to seated, through your arms as well. So this might feel nice for you before we come down, is just reaching up and down with your breath. Inhale up, lift through your fingertips, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. So notice how my arms are really relaxed, like I've got a little bend in my elbows. I'm heavy in my sockets when I lift up. I'm not reaching too much. Okay, so it's like you're kind of floating through soft, flowy water, reaching up. Exhale down. Okay. Keep going with whatever movement feels good for you. Otherwise, we'll come down to seated. Okay, so finding a nice, comfortable seated position. Feel free to use cushions or support. And we'll move through a few practices here to breathe into your womb space and just notice that sense of openness. All right, so bringing your hands to your womb space. You could even bring your hands over your vulva. Okay. You don't have to be sitting like this either. This isn't for everyone. So just sit in a position that feels best for you. I'll take a few breaths here. So relaxing through your shoulders, through your jaw. Maybe you're rocking, so you can be rocking forward and back. And notice how it feels to breathe into this space. Maybe you picture a healing light in your womb space, lighting it up. Notice an inhale versus an exhale. Okay, start to feel your pelvic bowl nice and heavy. Feel both of your sits bones equally pressing down. And from that space, notice your spine lifting up. Notice your rib cage over your pelvic bowl. And then take a breath in and out. Okay. There might be something that you say to your womb. It could be something as simple as I love you, or I see you, I feel you. So just starting to build that new neural pathway, that new sense of connection with your womb. It's very common that we are kind of taught to either repress or resist this space. So even a simple I love you, I see you can be quite powerful. Okay, so notice how that feels. when that feels complete for you, we'll move into the next practice, and it'll be a nice release. So if you're from seated, bringing your legs up and just kind of doing anything that feels good to get into your legs now, any little movements. And then starting to get comfortable with your feet flat, about hip width. From here, we'll go through kind of like a cat-cow movement. So how it looks is as you inhale, you'll see my toes are spreading, right? So you spread through your toes, arching through your lower back, lift your heart up, inhale. And as you exhale, you'll press your toes down, round through your spine, pull your shoulder blades apart and tuck your chin. Inhale, spread through your toes, lift your heart, slight arch in the back. Exhale, round, curl your tailbone in and up, tuck your chin. Take a few more rounds. Inhale up, spread the toes, exhale round. Inhale, lift, spread through the toes. Exhale, press the toes down, round through your spine. 2 more, take your time, go at your own pace. And release. It's a little bit of work, I know, the connection of like lift and spread the toes and then press them down, and there's a lot going on, so be patient with yourself, and this is a daily practice, so just keep coming back to it. So, coming back to seated. Again, feeling your pelvic bowl heavy, rooting down. If you notice you're leaning to one side or the other, balance it out. Then feel your spine lifting up, your rib cage over your pelvic bowl. And from here, noticing how a side stretch feels. So I'm bringing my hand, just kind of touching my shoulder blades. The other hand, I like to hold my ribs. It's up to you. Press into your sit bones, your pelvic bowl down. And then come into a little stretch. Maybe you inhale up, and then you exhale down. So with my opposite hand, I'm actually pulling the skin down a bit to get into my fascia. So you could do that as well if you like. Okay, take a few more rounds with your breath. Exhaling, inhaling up, exhaling. Releasing. Take a moment, notice how one side feels versus the other. And come over to the other side whenever you're ready. So again, I'm bringing my hand just in between my shoulder blades. The opposite hand, I like to hold onto my ribs, but you don't have to if you don't want to. Pulling the skin down and then following the breath. Exhaling across, inhaling up, exhaling down. If you notice you're popping up on your hip, your pelvis, keep pressing and rooting down and then come across, okay? Use your breath to guide you. Nice. Coming out. Notice how that feels, right? So always taking a pause, feel and be in tune with every sensation. Notice an inhale versus an exhale. Okay. And we'll close the practice up with some arm movements. And so how it looks is bringing your hands out. I like to do, maybe a mudra, like your thumb to your index, or just the palms open, totally up to you. But how it looks is you're inhaling to open up. Exhaling to bring it in. Gaze at your palms. Inhaling, open up. Notice how I'm really light in my arms, right? I'm not really stretching out, just keep the elbows nice and relaxed. Exhale down. Inhale, open like you're swimming through a beautiful, soft, warm ocean. Exhale in. Nice and slow, inhale. Releasing as you're ready. I'll invite you to bring your hands over your womb space to close the practice up. You might be rocking. Okay. Tuning in with a soft gaze or closed eyes. Sending so much love to your womb. Tuning into the energy of flow and surrender. So coming out of blocking, resistance, suppressing, and into that gentle flow, that openness, that softness that's always within you. Keep breathing in and out of the space and noticing that this really is a space. Your sacral chakra is a space of flow. Emotions, sexuality, creativity, it's all flowing in and out through this space. So practices like this help you align with your true nature. They can boost your womb health, your connection to your body, and so much more. Notice if there's anything at all that you'd wish to say to your womb. I see you, I love you, maybe just a feeling of gratitude. And releasing as you are ready. If you're really feeling this practice and you're enjoying, the hands on your body and kind of connecting to these parts, you could also bring hands to your breasts when you close your practice up. Same idea, that feeling of gratitude, okay? So that was a daily practice that you could do, and it could really help with body connection, with womb health, aligning with your feminine energy, and so much more.